So Michael invited me to talk a little bit about trust, which is definitely something that I am interested in opening up. But I also, Michael, I want to hear what you have to say on this one too. I think you and I grew up in the same household and stuff like that, but we also turned out as really different people in a lot of ways. And part of what I like about working with you is that your perspective is really different than mine on lots of things. And so, from my perspective, when we're talking about trust in the context of this empathy and vulnerability work, it's trust that the people you're connected to are able to actually handle what you've got going on. And I mean, that means that you can actually open up and talk about things that are a little bit sensitive and like feel some real feelings while you're being seen by other people. If and people can act in a way that makes trust easier, and they can act in a way that makes trust harder. And trust isn't and shouldn't be blind. So you don't just go into a space going, I assume completely that I can trust everybody. You go into a space and sort of suss it out. And the goal of the workshop, like what you and I are trying to do and what we hope for, is that the space is as safe as possible or as trustworthy as possible. And, doing things in such a way that it allows people to be open is the ideal. It's what we work for, but a slip is always possible. Doing something that makes it difficult for someone to communicate or to open up. I mean, in my personal life, I've certainly had that experience where I'm trying really hard to be safe, but then it doesn't always work. Like sometimes there is a misstep. To me, the biggest part about trust and building trust is not about how perfect you can be all the time. It's about what happens and how you correct when there's some kind of a misstep. How you make it safe again for the other person, how you meaningfully take responsibility for doing something that is not actually supportive of them opening up and being real. And I would like it if everybody who comes to our workshops feels permission to open up and be real. I also want to be trustworthy, both in terms of making it safe for them to have a feeling going on that normally makes things challenging, and also in terms of knowing how and what to do when there is some kind of a slip or a misstep. If somebody starts feeling like it is not completely safe, how to correct, how to address that in a meaningful way. And to me, both of those things are necessary for trust, both the intent to do it right and the capacity for correcting if you do it wrong. And I want to hear what you think.